Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you're going to learn about creating a photo cover that can be used on a 3D soda can. So let's start with this. Here we have an image of a fire and the flames, and we just create a new solid layer for black color, and here we change the opacity and make it 25%. We have this solid layer on top of this photo to just simply make other segments of the photo into dark. Okay, and we can apply some blending modes. You can use the darken, multiply, lighten, and a different blending mode. Here our purpose of using a blending mode is to simply just have this flame and remove all other segments from the photo. So we use the overlay blending mode with a dark solid, and we have a clear flame in the center with a dark background everywhere else, golden and yellow flame. Okay, so we have these two layers to begin with. Next we can just put them into a new group so that we can convert it into a 3D model, and we can use it on a soda can that can be used for a cover. We can add multiple text and some things that can be used on top of a 3D object. Just drag a text here. We have used Algerian font to make it emphasized. Here we just put a text like fire. We will add some more text like fire soda. Just name it a fire soda, and this can be used for a soda can. It's better to use the eyedropper tool to pick the color right from the image. So here we have the flame, so it's better to use the colors between the yellow, orange, and some frames dark red, similar color frame. You can also use the gray scale colors or the color of smoke that comes out. If you have some water kind of splashy things, so you can use the ice colors, blue, green, and other colors in the same way. Okay, so maintaining the color sync can be used here. Don't use a different color that doesn't match with the feeling that you want to convey. If you're designing some product, if you're a product designer, or you are designing some cover that can be used for commercial or different products, try to synchronize the colors based on the emotion that you want to convey. So if I could convey the fire and the flame, the heat, so it is better to use the warm colors rather than just adding some random colors from the cold and the warm color flame. If you want to convey the cold colors, you can use that in a emotion. So here we put these two texts. You can add some more text like other descriptions on the right and the left hand side. That is the white space. Actually it is a black space. You can put some more details here that can be used on the wrapper. Just try to visualize it will wrap around the cylindrical soda can, and you can also use it in other objects like wine bottle and other things, but for instance we will be using it on the soda can. So this is how you design a cover the basic way. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Now moving forward and convert this cover into a 3D object. Now just go to 3D, new mesh layer from 3D, and here just select a mesh preset and soda. Don't forget to select the group. You have to put all the layers within a group, so because you can select only one layer at a time, so it's better to select the group. And once you select the group, everything, all the layers will be put on the surface of your 3D object. So it looks very decent. The fire soda can, the fire flames just put concisely over the soda can, and on the back side it is completely blank. So if you want to put some text and other details on the back end side, like a description about the soda can, other labels that are there in the product descriptions that you can put, but for now just keep it white space. And we can create other layers, so like create a new solid for the background. It's better to take some color again using the eyedropper tool from the flame itself. You can use the warm colors, or you can use the gray scale color as well. So creating a 3D model here, we have some infinite lights and other lights that are applied. We got a 3D simulator and we can rotate this object freely on the background. In the coming lessons, you will learn about lighting, the material and the texture and other things in detail. So don't worry for now. Right now just focus on creating a 3D soda can, and here just customizing it. So the color selection is very important when you are designing some product. So for product design, you should have a suitable color combination. So here we got two options, the 3D and a layer panel. Earlier we have just used the layer panels. Here we got a 3D layer. So in the 3D layer we have multiple options for lighting, material and other things. And if you want to just move this thing around, you can just select the object. Here we use a 3D can, and you holding the mouse, left click on the mouse, left key on the mouse, you can simply rotate it or you can move it around the screen. When you go into the scene and the current view, you got two different views, orthographic and perspective. Okay, so perspective is the real life view that has vanishing points, and the orthographic view is an imaginary view that allows you to visualize multiple sides of the object in the same way. So in the perspective view, and the farther the object, the smaller it will appear, but in orthographic it won't be that way. So try to do this thing on your own, keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about various material properties in Photoshop 3D. So let's start with this. Now we have created a 3D soda can and we have different objects here, the cap material and the can body. Just select the cap material and move to the properties, and here in the drop down you can select the material for your cap or the body. Okay, so you have to select them individually. Just select the cap body, and generally the cap of a soda can is made up of metals, generally aluminum, that has a reflecting surface. But if you want to change the property, make it wooden, make it out of glass, you can make it here. So here you can select various materials such as shiny metal, it looks like a gold, then you have copper, then you have glass, transparent surface, then you have jade, wooden, some kind of material, the rough wooden surface. It depends on the material you want. If you want your material to look old, you can have some rough surface. If you want to make it metallic, have some view. Even if you want to add some brick texture, you can add it. So these textures does not have only 2D image, they have a 3D property. So depth are visible clearly here, and you can decide the color selection the way you want. So we have a fire soda can that has a black color and some warm colors like yellow, orange, red. So it would be better to use some material that have a reflective surface that is slightly rough and in the warm color. So we chose the golden color here, and it will be shiny and give an imperial look. You can select the infinite light and move it accordingly to the angle that you want. One way is that if you want to take multiple snapshots or a screenshot from different perspectives of the object, you can just simply rotate the object and move the light in that direction, take a snapshot, export this file into JPEG or PNG and continue your work while keeping your main Photoshop file intact. So you can also convert it to a different material. So here we have this red material that is partially translucent and it has some wrapping material. You can use it for toffee wrap or some kind of things like candy wrapping, chocolates and other things. So you have a variety of properties, and if you can add a wooden texture, the dark wooden brown color. If you want to add some water, light, ice and different color, you can change the material. So here's a various options for selecting a material. You have to just select the sphere, and you can also adjust various properties. You can set the reflection, shine, roughness, bump, opacity, and reflection. So if you want to make your texture appear shiny, you can increase the shine percentage, and the reflection you can have. So in nature, you can create some weird situation, weird kind of materials that are not available in nature. So generally, in reality, we don't have a shiny wood. Okay, wood is not a reflecting surface or a shiny wood, although there is a plywood and other composites there. But you can have some texture like wood and make it reflecting 100% reflecting surface and shiny and without any roughness. So in the same way, we can have a metal surface that has zero reflecting properties and zero shine. So you can easily customize your properties and the materials here. You could have bumps, you can customize the opacity. If you want to make your material little bit translucent, you can reduce the opacity to 50% say, or 75% if you want to make it slightly transparent. Okay, so these dots appear when you are rendering things. So whenever you change some values of these properties, it will start to render by default and try to show you the new and refreshed visuals of your object. If you don't want to set it by default in the real time, you can change it by going to the properties and you can make it render afterwards. So once you try to export it, you can render as well. So here it is. You can change these properties and you can zoom into the subject as much as view. You can also go to the camera properties, current view, select the current view in the camera in the scene, and you can change the depth of field properties. You can change the distance, you can change the depth, you can have a field of view FOV and other properties. You can say increase the distance, you can keep the depth 0. If you want to add depth, you can have. These are the camera settings that you can do. Now move to environment settings in the 3D panel, and you can change a few properties here. You can change the color of your shadow, color of reflection. Say if you want to have, by default the shadows are generally in the dark color, the gray color and the black color. And if you want to change the color for various reasons, you can change it to say red, green, blue, anything like that. And you can also change the color of reflection. So the light that gets reflected back, say from a metal surface, the reflected light is what you're visible. Say if you have multiple 3D objects on the scene, you have 2 soda cans. So on a soda can, the light is not just the light that is coming directly from the light source, it is also a combination of light that is being reflected from other can. So if you want to add some ambience color of say red color in the reflection, you can add it. You can customize it by going to the environment settings and have different properties here. You could also control the color intensity and other things here. So try to apply these material, camera and lighting properties in Photoshop 3D. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about various lighting properties and camera properties in Photoshop 3D. So let's start with this. So first go to the 3D panel just next to the layer panel and select the camera view to adjust it. On the top side you got properties and you can change the camera view from default to left, right, top, bottom, back, front and vanishing point grid. So if you want to take a snapshot or a screenshot on a particular angle how your product will look like, you can just use this option to change the view. Otherwise just keep it in the default mode so you can manually adjust them. So there are 3 options on the top left bottom left side to control it. You can rotate it, you can pan the 3D camera using this pan behind tool. Then you can use the orbit 3D camera to move a camera on the orbits, and you got more options. So let's add some text here, and you can use any font, any color, you can customize it the way you like. Just let me write some text here. We are creating this product 3D model for soda can, and we can add some subtitle or title for this thing. It gives you the power. You can change the font using various methods. You can customize your text, and if you want to add some font that is not available in Photoshop or a computer, you can download it and install in your font library. Or if you're working online, you can use various kinds of fonts. So if you're a designer and you love calligraphy and such things, it would be able to add the fonts. Moreover, if you don't want to write some English word, you can use Chinese, Hindi, Bengali, or a different language, Arabic, with different fonts. You can do it. So here it is. You can adjust the text as you want. You can change it. You can change the color. You can customize it. You can also add multiple graphics here. If you want to add some logo, some caricatures, anything, you can add. And also you can create multiple 3D models on a single product page. Okay, so Photoshop will allow you to customize a 3D model as well. And when we add some text or background solid, it will be added to the layer outside the layer that we have converted to 3D. So we have converted group various layers into a group that we have converted into 3D soda can, and we can just view it. Rest other things are intact, so we can move it. If you want to write behind the soda can, the blank space, you can also write. And now we want to adjust some lights. So this is the infinite light. You can control it from 3D. This is the main environment light, the background or the default light. You can think it of sun if you are working in the natural climate, or some lights. And here it is. You can also create different kinds of lights, like point light, spotlight, and infinite light. Just click the small bulb icon on the bottom right side, and this will allow you to create some lightning. So it would be a wise idea to have multiple lights if you want to focus on a particular thing. Say if you put the infinite light somewhere on the higher side, and you can have other light sources as well. So here we just placed a spotlight here. It will have some impression on this can. If you want to increase, you also got this option to change the lighting properties. You can change the color, you can increase the intensity, or it can decrease the intensity of light. So if some light is further away, you can also control the distance of your light, the cone, how it will apply. So changing the color could be a wise option if you want to make it more attractive. So here we have a soda can, and we want to provide some light that will enhance the colors, the warmness of this thing. So rather than using the simple white light, we can use any color, yellow, golden, anything. And you can change the intensity of light. You can also control the shadow. If you want the shadow to be emerged, you can, otherwise leave it. Okay, it can cast the shadow, it can take the shadows, catch the light, and so on. So here it is. Next we can create some more lights if you want. Let's create a point light, and let's make it red. We can change the color. So when we added multiple lights, don't forget that it depends, lights also depend on the material of the object. So if your material is say metallic, so metals have the property to reflect light. So here's a reflection, and we can cast some light. If you want to just remove some segments of the light from your product and make it in the control level, you can also have a black light. So it will be dark light, and you can apply it. So how it cleverly remove the shiny components of the can. So just play with light properties, customize it, keep learning, and keep moving ahead.